Hey guys, Levy Freeman here again today, and we're going to be playing some Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich mod, and we're going to be playing as the League of 8 Provinces, also known as the Nanjing Clique. Uh, well, I mean, there are multiple different factions you can get in the League Collapse War, and one of them is the Nanjing Clique. That's what we're going to be going for today. So I can read our lore for all those lore whores out there. The Imperial Cornerstone, forged amid last decade's wars and expanded to its current size following the defeat of the Northern Expedition, Sun Shanfang's League is a loose confederation of provincial governments oriented around his stronghold in Nanjing. Though united by its members' fear of the central government control, the League is nonetheless a cornerstone of the empire, buttressing Beijing against both external threats and internal challengers by virtue of shared heritage. This tenuous arrangement has brought years of peace and with them relative prosperity. Foreign industrial methods have proven transformational, and Sun's armies now include several German-trained and equipped divisions at their core. The League Marshal has come to sit atop a vast bureaucratic pyramid, a position he is more than happy to keep despite the cracks that have begun to appear at its base. German material aid necessary to offset pressure from Beijing and the League's fractious southern members has not served as a source of strength alone. German money trickles into every level of the League's hierarchy, feeding an already ingrained and unhealthy taste for corruption, with officials complicit in everything from embezzlement to stolen antiquities trade. This has gradually stoked the fires of popular discontent, increasingly harnessed by nationalistic agitators and fueled by elusive remnants of the Kuomintang. For all of Sun's efforts to draw the fragmented League together, it may be drifting all the further apart. Still, these domestic squabbles are outshone by the rising sun, which looms large in the east. Beset by internal conflicts, the League must rise to this challenge or else risk annihilation. Briefings are available on the League's special mechanics, its relationship with the Germans, and internal politics. I guess we can read those. Or maybe we can't. Central politics or central government. I don't know. There's some words there. Looks like this is bugged out. All right. Well, anyways, we're super corrupt. We've got that German money, and some of our other, these southern traders and whatnot are not too big of fans of our current regime. Maybe certain people don't like that we're such sellouts to the Germans, but we'll see how she goes. So we have Sun Shanfang for now. We are paternal autocrat, 54% party popularity. We have a conspicuous kleptocracy, which gives us lots and lots of unfortunate debuffs. We can't get volunteers. It's harder to support us. We have negative war support, negative stability, negative division recovery rate, negative political power gain. Wonderful. Late last decade, Sun Shanfang opened vast swaths of eastern and southern China to exclusive German economic exploitation. Soldiers and officials at almost every level, many already predisposed to corruption, have become complicit in everything from arms smuggling to the stolen antiquities trade. This reflects poorly on the League as a whole. We have the Nanking Commission, which gives us organization 10% and 5% max planning. The Nanking Commission, advising the League's leadership on behalf of Berlin, includes an officer corps intended to reorganize Chinese divisions along German lines. So far, they have seen some success in equipping and training the Marshals' personal divisions, as well as imparting the Weltkrieg's lessons to their officers. That's a nice buff. Tsingtao Collaboration Medium. Infrastructure, construction speed, civic construction speed, and railways, we get a 5% buff. And I guess we have target country trade costs negative 20% to German East Asia. So I think it means they can trade for us cheaper. The informal arrangements between the League and Germany, facilitated by the AOG, have come at a significant cost despite their many benefits. German businesses have received special privileges in a number of coastal cities, transforming them into concessions in all but formal name and national law. Now the AOG's influence threatens to spread beyond the coast and deep into the interior. So we have limited economic aid, limited economic control, and military access under political control. So I guess there's some sort of mechanic about that, which maybe we could have read about if the intro to the country wasn't bugged out. We have warlord era inadequacies. Mobilization speed, minus 30%. Division organization, minus 30%. Minus 35% recruitable pot factor. Minus 30% division defense. Experienced soldier losses, plus 10%. Max entrenchment, minus 45%. Daily command power, minus 30%. And supply combat penalties on core territory, minus 30%. So yeah, that's a buff, that last one. Despite various claims, there has never really been a Chinese army. Instead, the military is decentralized, highly factional, and irregular, having grown haphazardly over decades of conflict. Most significant forces are regional, oversized, poorly maintained, and distrustful of one another, if not outright hostile. Corruption is endemic, where logistics exists. Most are simple coolie or mule trains, complemented by regular robbery of the surrounding countryside. Though a few units appear to meet Western standards, the vast majority do not, and better resemble gangs of bandits or other criminals. Even in peacetime, a mere word of an approaching army is often enough for local peasants to flee the oncoming wave of looting and abuse. Okay, so that kind of sucks, but this is like one of the things that you have in Warlord China that you have to deal with that makes it so that infantry doesn't have quite such a huge defensive advantage, and China doesn't just turn into a giant stalemate. So, occupations, we're occupying some Mingan insurgency territory. 99% resistance there, jeez. Mingan insurgency is, of course, the dirty left Kuomintang commies, which we'll have to put down. Unequal treaties is our economic law, or not economic, trade law. So we have 60% bonus resources to market, so we have less to use for ourselves. And we have to fork over 30% of our civilian industry to the legation cities. That kind of sucks. So we're on toaster economy. We have Qi Ziyuan, who gives us political power gain and war penalty stability modifier. Maybe we'll see more of him later. And it looks like we have no other advisors. So the AOG here, market liberal, I think, if I remember correctly, and I know this has changed since I played them last, the AOG is like the market liberals as a tracker for exactly how much we've sold out to the Germans. So we're getting 1.97 PP growth per day, so that's pretty good. We're 54% popularity, which is also not bad. We're not very stable, practically no war support, and we have like the Chinese quantity of manpower, even despite our debuffs in the volunteer only. More manpower than we have factories to equip with, for sure. So we've got 3 mills, 1 dockyard, and 5 cities. Fuel, we're not going to worry about that for a while anyways, but it looks like we have no domestic oil production. We have 5 convoys and like none of the experience here. So decisions. Chinese unification. Central authority in China has long eroded as decades of foreign imperialism, political instability, and domestic unrest in light of imperial weakness spawned a new class of regional militarists in the ailing days of the old Qing Empire. The Xinhai Revolution brought further turmoil to the nation as revolutionary generals seized control of numerous provinces and set about building complex networks of military officers, allied businessmen, landed gentry, sympathetic intelligentista, and government officials. Oh, geez, that is a joke, all Akbar. Yes, but yes, our stability is quite poor. You can go way lower than negative 15%, though. It can be a lot worse. Nevertheless, a common national identity remains, and various movements across the land have made their bid to unite the nation and rebuild China in their image, taking advantage of their own patronage networks, foreign support, and growing armies that clash for influence in the cities and countryside. Still, in twisting and turning realities of warlord China, open warfare is not the only conflict that develops. Tales of shifting alliances and sordid betrayal unfold, all the while foreign invasion looms. So, of course, Japan is kind of like the final boss when you're playing in China. Army reform. So this is how we're going to have to deal with our warlord era inadequacies. Chinese armies have long struggled to catch up to Western standards. Soldiers are notoriously poorly trained and disorderly, often recruited from varied stock of bandits, petty criminals, and chronically destitute. Equipment is regularly patchwork, obsolete, or even downright archaic. Loyalty is typically given to individual officers or a regularly filled rice bowl, and ideological motivation is ephemeral at best. It will take a great deal to rebuild these armies along modern lines. We'll have to fork over 300 army experience. And I think you have to hit these multiple times. So this one over here, we get 10 mobilization speed, 10 org, and 10 defense, and 15% max entrenchment. So it looks like we're going to have to hit that like 3 times. We'll have to fork over probably 300 army experience at least to get rid of that debuff. Lessons of war. This will help with our recruitable population factor, experience, soldier losses, and command. So we've got that. We've got the usual stuff over here. Looks like we have some resource prospecting too that we can do, assuming we retain control of those areas. Okay. National focus. It looks like so we can do this. Can't do that yet. Can't do that yet. So I guess we're doing Nanjing army. So we'll get a stack of 50 experience. We'll probably keep in the bank to clear our dog shit debuffs here. Civvy factories. I guess we're going to start building a military factory. Put that in our home province. Production. So I think they have a thing now where you can't train any new units. You have to get them from like Decision or something like that. I know Left Kuomintang used to be like that, but I guess now it looks like this warlord is too, because we can't fucking train anything. Okay. I guess there are a lot of exploits you can do by changing division names. I think, like, American Civil War used to be like that. Let's just see what we got here. Got a giant fucking mess of it. Christ. Like 11 billion different templates here. These are probably all like mostly the same. It's like what do we got here? This is just a 12 with infantry. Oh, well, these guys. Alright, so these guys got some arty. Let's put them aside. Like a 4 with infantry. You can throw those there. More 4 with infantry. There's like some irregular infantry. There's also regular infantry. Another 4 with. More regulars. I guess it was my stack of irregulars. Yeah, so those guys are... Another one with the artillery. Another stack of irregulars. More irregulars. And a cav. So it looks like we got like a bunch of these 8-width infantry, 8-width cavalry, a couple 12-width infantry, and then we got 4 of these, I guess, kind of primo units here for Warlord era China, which have the artillery in them. Yeah, Pao Bing Zhen. Alright, so that's what we got. So we probably do want to build a little bit of artillery then. We don't have anything that looks like that has support equipment, so that seems kind of pointless to build. We'll put the rest on the guns. Let's build convoys. It doesn't look like we have anything else that we can build there anyways. So of course I always like to get the Rifle 1. I probably could have afforded to spend a designer on that. Oh, that's alright. We'll try and get our PP up so we can hire the guy that gives us the extra army XP. It seems like that's probably a good idea. No Air Force, no Navy, of course. Why would the Chinese warlords have any of that stuff? So technology. We have basic rifles, and that's it. We have support equipment. We actually have engineers and recon. We got trains, too, so it's kind of interesting. We have no armor technology. We have artillery and anti-air. We have no naval tech. Like, actually no naval tech. No air tech. No engineering tech, and no production tech. I think what I'm going to do is save my 1 research slot to try and get our rifle into production faster. Like having the better gun definitely helps you win the early trash infantry wars. So for you guys who've never played Kaiserreich before, the league is going to collapse. You know, Sun Chongfang can't keep his kleptocracy together, and we're going to have to fight the League Collapse War, which is kind of a sloppy three-way. Which is one of the more chaotic early game wars that you have to fight in Kaiserreich. Kaiserreich, of course, being known for its early game conflicts. So we'll see how we do. Sun Shanfang meets with governors. League Marshal Sun Shanfang met today with the governors of the 5 eastern provinces, who the public has been told discussed matters of regular governance and administration. The rice crop in Jiangxi has been poorer than expected this year, said Governor Dang Ruzo. It's important that taxes are adjusted appropriately to compensate. The absence of officials from Guangdong, Guangxi, and Hunan, as well as the presence of purely military figures like General Qi Ziyuan, has led some to believe that the meeting actually concerned far more serious matters of state security. Interesting. We'll get some PP for that. What could go wrong? Assassination of Alexander Kerensky. So Savinkov has once again whacked Kerensky. The Zhegan Railway. Today marks the long-planned opening of the Zhegan Railway, the latest extension to which finally connects Shanghai to Nanjing. Nanjing. So Nanjing is, I guess, yeah, it's over here, and it's connected to Shanghai, which is here. So I guess we got a nice railroad going from these two provinces now. Does that show up on the supply? No. So we got the railway. The opening is noteworthy for a few reasons. First among them, the prominent involvement of Chinese engineers in the construction, despite significant funding by the Aufsichtsrat der Ostasien Generalverwaltung, also known as the AOG, which has turned the work into something of a cause célèbre. Those less optimistic views have been quick to point out the AOG's newfound access to rich mineral deposits, as well as Jingzhen porcelain, which has been able to fetch high prices in Berlin. Despite concerns, a threatened attack upon the opening ceremony by Kuomintang agents did not take place. Railways bring prosperity. Okay. So I guess the railway comes along like this, but doesn't quite go to Shanghai. Alright. An unexpected announcement. Late this morning, to the surprise of many, the AOG publicly announced its plans to purchase and consolidate a number of eastern railways on behalf of the Shantung Eisenbahn Gesellschaft, one of its component concerns. Among them is the Nanjing Railway. The AOG already possesses controlling shares in a number of lines across eastern China, several of which it directly financed, but this dashes the hopes of those who believe the new railway might represent a more equal future for Germans and Chinese. While Chinese management will be permitted to remain, they will now answer to a German directory board. Though scarcely admitted to the public, few authorities in the League seem to have been forewarned of this development, and the police response to protests has been slower than normal. Damn, I can't believe it. You know, how could our country sell this, our infrastructure, and privatize it? Now it's gonna be like a toll road. Those are awful. Unrest spreads. Unsurprisingly, the consolidation of the Central China Railway under AOG management has met with widespread criticism. Intellectuals have condemned the move in domestic papers, followed by prominent Anglo-American publications out of Shanghai, and echoed by syndicalist party periodicals found on factory floors. More troubling, however, the news has spread rapidly by word of mouth and grown all the more outrageous and fantastical in the process. Tales now describe extensive webs of conspiracy, disappearances of outspoken individuals, and the supposed transfer of millions of yuan into the League Marshal's own pockets. The public's reaction has been predictably furious, and protests have already spread from Zhejiang and Jiangxi to the major coastal cities, including the foreign settlements. Do the peasants have nothing better to do? Oh, questions. I mean, they're peasants, right? Attacks on foreigners. Beginning with the assaults on prominent German citizens and having grown to become virtually indiscriminate, attacks on foreigners by emboldened patriotic citizens are spreading like wildfire. The German consulate in Nanjing has advised the Kaiser's subjects to arm themselves and travel only when necessary. The consulates of most other nationalities may soon follow suit. The impact of these attacks on business and investment remains to be seen, but the recent history suggests that the Shanghai Stock Exchange will not remain unaffected. Troubling. Ooh, we lose 1,500 dudes in those riots. Yikes. Boycotts in Beijing. Talk of a boycott on German goods has accomplished growing protests throughout eastern China. Provoked by an assortment of Kuomintang agents, religious cultists, and nationalist ideologues, more disturbingly, some local garrisons have stepped back and allowed the unrest to grow, unwilling to risk being labeled Hanjian or race traitors. In order to ward off intervention from Beijing, advisors from the Nanjing Commission have suggested that League Marshal Sun publicly declare that the situation is under control. Elements of several divisions based in Nanjing stand ready to be deployed to cities along the lower Yangtze, where protests are largest, and provincial garrisons could be given the green light to take whatever action they deem necessary to quell the open dissent. So you can go maximum force, or you can punish only the violent. It seems like punish only the violent is like strictly better, so we'll just punish only the violent. Ooh, looks like Boris got himself counter-assassinated. Checkmate, Boris. Jerk. Railway bombings. Explosions have rocked several stations and rail lines slated to become part of the Central China Railway, with one bomb shredding a train car in a crowded station at Huangzhou, leaving dozens killed and injured. The deaths and delays have brought transportation to a standstill in many areas and has slowed the deployment of additional forces to quell the growing unrest. Blame for the attacks has been leveled against various targets, from bandits to the KMT to Japanese agents. Some especially conspiracy-minded individuals have suggested German involvement, who they suggest are targeting their own possessions to set the stage for an intervention. Terrorism! People must reject this madness. Man, I didn't realize that the Chinese people were so racist against their German overlords. What's wrong with them? Reports from north and south. Troubling reports have reached Nanjing from both Zhuzhou and Guangzhou. In Mingan Insurgent Zone, KMT guerrillas have staged a series of increasingly bold raids, striking around the inland cities of Yongding and Longyuan. Governor Zhu Yinren has long struggled to assert control over his mountainous province, with control often limited to the coast and the larger inland cities, and now his grasp grows all the more tenuous. Meanwhile, in Jiangsu, Governor Zhang Jinyuan reports increased agitation by Yiguandao adherents, spreading over the border from Shandong. These religious fanatics have been a point of long-standing frustration for the governor, but their involvement may well be encouraging the rising unrest. Temporary setbacks. So it's gonna... Now we've got spreading unrest, hurting our stability, and we've got disrupted industry fucking up our industry. So it's tough being a warlord, isn't it? A telegram from Beijing. A telegram has been received from Beijing, apparently sent at the direction of the Imperial Commissioner Wu Peifu, who sits as Qing Army Minister and the undisputed head of the nation's central military apparatus. The message inquires about the current chaotic state of affairs, clearly worded with the intent to force League Marshal Sun to admit some weakness or hardship. The central government under Wu's direction has repeatedly attempted to extend its direct authority south, but so far such efforts have been in vain. Our response must be careful and measured, demonstrating that we need no central government assistance to disperse these insurrectionists. Everything is like totally under control. Oh jeez. Just as we say that, we get the Woohoo incident. Woohoo! This afternoon, protests in the city of Woohoo, bolstered by striking workers from nearby German-owned factories, quickly escaped police control. The garrison, itself reinforced by a section of German-trained troops from Nanjing, attempted to restore order, but in the confused melee, someone started shooting. Within a matter of minutes, police, the garrison, and their reinforcing troops had begun firing on the crowd and each other. Over 200 are already confirmed dead, with 4 times as many likely wounded, and the resultant outrage has already sparked protests in surrounding areas. The situation is made all the worse by the presence of a small foreign settlement within the city. Many are already claiming that lethal force was only used in order to protect these foreigners, and the killings will most likely feature in the international newspapers by tomorrow morning. Could things get any worse? And there goes my PP. Anking refuses further cooperation. Ooh, that fucker. Citing the recent incident at Woohoo, Governor Chen Tiao-yuan has issued an ultimatum calling for withdrawal of all non-provincial forces from Anhui, as well as the immediate handover of those officers responsible. So Woohoo is... Oh, I guess I didn't read that. Woohoo's over here, but this guy over here, Chen Tiao-yuan, anti-concessionist, doesn't think we should be selling out to the Germans. I don't know. I need to juggle my research here, too. We'll get the research speed. Our PP's in the gutter. Alright, so we get that. I don't see the icon up here. Yeah, it doesn't look like we can continue down, so we'll just be banking our PP for a bit. Electoral gridlock in France. And revolution in Russia. The Maui naval mutiny. You have received word from Fuzhou, that's, I guess, over here, that during the chaos of the League's collapse, a rebellion by cadets at the Maui Naval School briefly seized control of the docks there. Spurred on by Wu Peifu's endorsement of the treacherous Governor Chen and decrying the lack of funding towards the naval force as a sign of our over-reliance on foreign protection, a flotilla of ships were seized by the mutiny and were last seen departing the city, no doubt hoping to reach Nanjing. The rebellion is believed to have been spurred on by two leading members of the faculty, Sa Bengzin and Shen Jincheng. Both are younger admirals with a history of nationalistic thought and a long-time disillusionment with the current system in China. They are no doubt probably groveling at Chen's feet as we speak, begging for a better job at his camp. Treason of any sort will not stand, and they must be brought to justice. An unfathomable betrayal. Black Monday reaches the east. Oh no. Although it began a world away, Black Monday's fall has already reached China. The Shanghai exchange plummeted before closing at numbers unseen since the financial tumult of 1925, and local institutions are already doing what they can to mitigate the damage. Fortunately, the average citizen is unlikely to feel any immediate impact, but the AOG, already staggering under an extensive retaliatory boycott, faces dire financial circumstances. Won't someone think of the German colonizers? Its clerks have already issued notice that it may be unable to pay the usual rents for its various concessions, and that the final payment promised for the Zhenggan Railway has been indefinitely postponed. Without this planned revenue, we will be forced to enact major budget cuts. How will we pay the troops? That's the important question when you're about to be in a civil war, isn't it? How will you pay the troops? Dissension in the ranks. Word of suspended pay has already spread as far as the League's junior officers, and the reaction has been predictably negative. For some, this will mean an end to the lifestyles of vice and extravagance, at least for the time being, but for many a common soldier, it's the difference between life and starvation. The officers' grumbling is made all the worse by a small but vocal clique of officers sympathetic to Chen Taoyuan's cause, arguing that the League should never have become so dependent on German handouts. In the barracks and in the streets, soldiers are being riled up by Yiguandao adherents, seeking converts and preaching against foreign wickedness, while the Kuomintang and other leftist groups hide in the shadows, disseminating propaganda and denouncing imperialist collaboration. Nothing has yet come of these activities, but what was once routine unrest is now threatening to undermine the very foundations of the League. Rebellion will be punished. Ooh, it looks like we lost some of our stack of militia there. Secret negotiations with Shangguan Yunxiang. The threat of rebellion from Chen Taoyuan to our west and chaos to the south, we need to guarantee a corridor from where we can reach our troops to the south. While Chen Yi has shown to be loyal, there is a threat that he may choose to ally with Chen Taoyuan, cutting us off from our southern army. We could appeal to a subordinate who has never been content with his position and offer him the governorship, though he's a greedy man and may desire far more than what we could offer. Of course, there's always the choice to trust in Governor Chen Yi. I think this is random. I don't know. We got Chen, we got some other Chens. We just got like a whole boatload of Chens, don't we? We have a port in Xiamen. So we could take I have convoys. We could take the sea up here if we had to. I'll risk it. I'll hope Shen Yi stays trustworthy. A heinous crime. Sun Chanfang lies mortally wounded, shot from behind by an assassin disguised as a serving woman. His brave bodyguards are able to quickly overpower and imprison the woman, but rumors have already begun to spread and swirl. The incapacitation of the League's only widely recognized leader is an unprecedented disaster. And unless he recovers, soon a successor is unlikely to be chosen without considerable bloodshed. Without effective leadership and with political fragmentation all but a certainty, the ongoing crisis will surely spin out of control. The League's fate lies in the balance. Who could be responsible? Probably the fucking commies. It's always the commies, boys. Spreading insubordination. Telegrams have been flooding in all morning, accompanied by the din of ringing telephones throughout the League Marshal's palace, together describing a rapidly deteriorating situation across much of the League. With no promise of pay, soldiers in Zuzhou, Nanjing, Quanzhou, and several other cities are either refusing to act or outright joining the spreading violence and looting. While police and garrisons in Huangzhou and Wuxi have gone on strike, riots there and elsewhere are gradually escaping all semblance of control, made all the worse by Sun Chanfang's incapacity. Troublingly, telegraph lines south of Fujian appeared to have been cut, leaving us entirely in the dark as to the likely worsening situation in Guangzhou and Guangxi, while Nanjing itself is now practically in the throes of violent revolution. Marshal Soon must wake soon. Soon must wake soon! Marshal Wu Peifu has refused our request for aid. I don't remember sending a request for aid. That's kind of weird. I know you used to have an event where you could ask him, but he's told us to go fuck ourselves. He's probably supporting that bastard Chen. Riots reach the Marshal's palace. The Nanjing police have been unable to contain one of many riots spreading across the capital, as officers defect or sit idle and onlookers join the chaos, looting and burning homes, businesses, and now government offices. The hasty arrival of military units under the command of General Qi Ziyuan has already deployed nearby. Seems enough to protect the Marshal's palace, but the roar of flames and burgeoning crowds are audible even within the chamber where Sun Shenfang lies, deep in a coma. Like rats fleeing from a sinking ship, officials have been observed scurrying away into the back streets and alleyways, arms burdened by silver coins, papers, and perhaps government secrets. Troops in Nanjing have demobilized as they defect or fight the growing chaos. Yikes, we get negative 20 stability, and our industry is going to be crippled, so we'll take another 5 hit on those stats. What a piss off. The illusion of Qing hegemony shatters, so bye-bye Burger King. Burger King. The facade of Chinese unity, having held together for nearly a decade, has begun to crumble. Rising unrest in the League of Eight Provinces, the economic shock of Black Monday, portending the German retrenchment, and the inability of the national government to deliver a decisive response to either has made one thing clear: Beijing's monopoly on power is broken, and now the future is any man's game. This will not go well. Guys, it's over. Uprising in Fujian. Kuomintang rebels, already fermenting insurrection throughout the League, have begun a general uprising in Fujian province. Emerging from the mountains to seize a number of villages in the province's interior, the Mingan insurgent zone was already known to be a danger, but with the chaos now gripping the League, there is every possibility that they will cut off path to the coast, opening the way for aid to their syndicalist allies. At present, Governor Zhu Yinren is known to have several divisions in and around Guangzhou, but this is unlikely to be enough to stem the tide. As well, troops loyal to the Kuomintang have risen up along the border with the Shanghai concession, threatening the heart of our power. Syndicalist scum! General Qi assumes control. Following a closed meeting lasting nearly 4 hours, Qi Ziyuan has emerged to declare himself the acting League Marshal and promises to restore order to the fractured League. Already his forces have begun asserting control over Nanjing's arsenal, military headquarters, and major thoroughfares, broadcasting the news by megaphone and clearing the streets with enfilades of rifle fire. Cities among much of the lower Yangtze have already begun declaring for Qi, but communications with several provinces have broken down. With Sun's condition deteriorating, he is unlikely to be only an acting League Marshal for long. A coup in all but name. So we get an advisor who gives us 50% PP gain, plus 10% war penalty stability modifier. We get some guns. Our industry gets worse, and we're going to get questionable authority, so we'll have negative 10 organization, negative 20 stability, and war support minus 30. Alright, so our stability is like right in the gutter now at negative 59%. These guys over here at ZMN probably want to get out. Get the fuck out. You guys. What do we got left? We got this stack of militias. We got 3 of our good units. And these guys are... These guys are also not bad. So our militia, we can make, I don't know, green. Our kind of basic guys can be blue. We'll make our artillery guys red, I guess. So we got Field Marshal Qi. Oh, he gets some decent stuff. I think we're gonna do with that later. So these guys can have. With that guy, give this guy to our guy with like the highest attack score. These guys can get like defense. So go like that. We'll probably have to micro a lot, so we'll, I guess, garrison Baharadia. So we'll do that. Let's get Xi rules Nanjing, and we'll be able to do this north, south, or west. So we'll start that. I think it'll give us. So we'll get an event, and they'll probably let us pick someone to push against. Like we have, I know American Civil Wars like that. Emergency troop training. 2 divisions in the liberated zone. Get a doctrine. Okay, so you can get like so we get some things over here too. The fuck is Wu Zi over here? Okay. Okay. Yeah, so these guys gotta get the fuck over here. Fast. Chen Tiaoyuan declares war. Calling upon his fellow governors and the central government to aid him in his cause, Chen Tiaoyuan has denounced Marshal Qi's ascension as totally illegitimate and a farce, accusing him of planning Sun's assassination and his following grab for power well in advance. This argument has already proven convincing as a number of younger officers have already deserted to his ranks. The other governors remain silent for now. Damn him! So we're going to get worse attrition, worse stability, and worse war support. Yikes. Yikes. But I think we got some more units. What do we get? We got cheesy ones, guys, here. So these are infantry. You can go in the infantry red stack. We got another. Ooh, we got one with artillery. Go in the blue stack. And the rest of these guys can go in the militia stack. So it looks like we have some open space here, which you're probably going to want to take advantage of. General Shang Guan rises in Zhejiang. Citing the abuses of his superior, Shang Guan Yanjiang has rallied the Wangzhou garrison and the units under his command to Chen Tiaoyuan's cause and against Governor Chen Yi. The governor, installed after the removal of Lu Zhuangting in 1932, has never been particularly popular among his men, but enough to have remained loyal for him to fortify the city's core and await reinforcements. Shang Guan has long been known for his shameless ambition, but his rapid spread into insubordination is increasingly concerning. Okay, maybe just go here for now. Treachery. Activates mission. Zhejiang, Governor Chen. What do I need to do to get... So we have to do this... The governors of Jiangxi, Jiangsu, and Zhejiang have all lost or broken contact with the acting League Marshal's new administration in Nanjing. As their enemies rise up and close in, it is imperative that the governors and their armies are brought back into the fold. Unfortunately, the situation is so dire and the resources are limited so that we may not be able to rescue them all. So I guess we have to hold out for PP to do that, I guess. Fucking mutineers. So Wu Peifu is back and king. Following the death of Marshal Sun Shunfang earlier this year and the subsequent... I thought he was just in a coma. And the subsequent collapse of Qing authority, few expected Imperial Minister of the Army Wu Peifu the real power behind the throne in Beijing to take overt military action. Yet this morning, he and Assembly President Cao Kun announced their formal support of the provincial government of HOI4, led by Chen Tiaoyuan. Wu and Cao have long chafed under German oversight placed on their government in 1927. Their support of Governor Chen telegraphed to the world that they were casting off German influence. While a full deployment of the Qing army is unlikely given the ever-present threat of Feng Tian attack from the north, limited numbers of Qing troops are already mobilizing to destroy the enemies of Governor Chen in Beijing's new national order. The chips start to fall. Qi's forces control Nanjing Arsenal. In the early hours of this morning, Qi's forces were able to fully capture the arsenal in Nanjing. Following the death of Sun and the coup of Qi, Nanjing's forces were split between Sun loyalists and Qi loyalists. Many of these troops and their commanding officers still believe Qi is not fit to rule, with some even suggesting that Qi had Sun killed so that he could take the role of League Marshal for himself. Since Qi took power, fighting Nanjing has been widespread, with Sun loyalists mainly being based around the arsenal in Nanjing. The arsenal is a very important military and logistical structure, allowing Sun's forces to hold it for days. However, with it finally now in our hands, our control in Nanjing is all but assured. So we get 800 rifles. Shan King Tianguo declared. Governor Zhang Zongchang, known throughout China as the Dogme General, is dead. Reports coming out of Jinan allege that Zhang Zongchang and his top lieutenant Sun Tianying had attempted to storm the sacred Taishan earlier this week and did not survive the assault. The astounding news comes with proclamations from the new master of Taishan, Zhang Tianran, that he now rules Shandong and all its people. Zhang Tianran is a less notable figure to newspapers, but is well known to the refugees of eastern China as benevolent leader of the Yiguandao cult. To the more conservative refugees, this event symbolizes something brighter in store for China. This will not go well. Alright, so let's get the emergency troop training. There's also some more divisions. Those are good divisions too. So I'm going to try and blitz down and King and then deal with the Kuomintang after. Okay, geez. So German weapons. So we got a shipment of weapons from our German friends in Singapore. So we can get 1K rifles. It's probably good rifles too. The secretive retainer. Qi's Yuan's ascent into power has brought along plenty of fresh blood into Sun Shunfang's ailing administration. Many are connected to Qi's German-backed administration in Wuzi or some of his old ties in his former stronghold of Shanghai. Of the latter camp comes many contacts in Shanghai's shadowy underworld filled with often illicit dealings. A particularly ambitious name frequently comes to mind in Qi's circle, a rising star by the name of Dai Chunfeng. Most know him by his alias Dai Li, whose contacts with unemployed Whampoa alumni and the Green Gang has made him invaluable as a smuggler, spy, and other nefarious activities. His organization, a Green Gang splinter group known as the League of Ten, is secretive, fraternal, and nationalistic, traits not particularly uncommon in China's underworld, and not particularly trustworthy for that matter. Still, keeping some contact with them just might be the factor we need to tilt the scales in our favor. Is that so? To get some intel against the left Kuomintang. Liang Guang succeeds. Silence from the south was broken this evening by a declaration from Governor Chen Jiangming speaking on behalf of both Guangdong and Guangxi provinces. Thanks to these traitors down here. That they have together succeeded from the League with immediate effect. The general denounced the League's disregard for the rights and needs of the people and singled out the acting League Marshal for special criticism, but stopped short of outright declaring hostilities. With Anhui province already openly insubordinate, this turn of events is disastrous, and in most cases would merit a response. The news was received by way of telegraph from Hong Kong, which also reported the public humiliation and execution of numerous League officials in Huizhou, but exact details remain scarce. Traitors! And of course, Shandong is going to try and gangbang us from the north. It's okay. Hunan. Hunan's like, I think, over here. Governor Zhao Hengti has announced his province's intention to secede from the League, citing his membership as a personal agreement made with Sun Shanfang and not the new acting marshal. Like Chen Jiangming, he has not declared hostilities and is likely beginning to consider his position within China's rapidly shifting balance of power. Traitors everywhere. This must be what MacArthur feels like. Always traitors, never stars. Riders in Nanjing disperse. After our forces gained control of the Nanjing arsenal, troops loyal to Sun's mostly dissipated. However, many of the troops joined the rest of the citizens in Nanjing who protested against Qi. Many wanted an end to the warlordism that has faced China for years. Many even feel that perhaps the Kuomintang might be a better option than Qi. Thankfully, with the arsenal in their hands, our troops had the weapons to easily disperse the crowds of protesters. The citizens have gone back into their homes as our troops march to the streets in Nanjing as ours. Sun Shanfang dies. At about 4:15 yesterday afternoon, Sun Shanfang succumbed to his wounds. Having never woken from the coma he entered not long after being shot. His last words at the time were reportedly a series of complaints about the state of his breakfast, and so they will not be reported publicly. Though not among the worst of warlords, Sun will not be remembered fondly by many, despite his insistence that he was an authentic warlord, unlike so many capricious politicians. A funeral will reportedly take place once order is restored to the League, and tellingly, Sun's demise barely made the morning headlines, sharing front pages with reports of troop movements and a student massacre at Zhejiang University. A dark day. Dark day indeed. Germany is offering us help with our industry. The German East Asian government, on behalf of Germany, has recognized our dire situation and has offered some of their factories on our land to work temporarily to supply our arms production. Yes, please. That'd be nice. While this seems most helpful, one must ask himself what the cost will be when the war ends. But we'll take it. We're sellouts. I'll take those 4 volunteer divvies too. Thanks, Helmet. Ooh. I guess we just had to walk into Nanking, boys. That was kind of easy, wasn't it? Governor Chen is defeated. Finally, after much struggle, we have entered Nanking and taken the province back for the League. This is a great day for the Zilli Clique. The Zilli Clique. But we're the Nanjing Clique, though. Okay. Oh, we got... shit. I pressed pause there when I shouldn't have. That's alright. I'll be able to get our advisor soon. Nanking has capitulated. So... I think we're going to give the Kuomintang space so that we can maybe push them somewhere where they don't have all these fucking mountains and shit. The League War. Okay. With the death of Sun Shanfang, the League of 8 provinces collapsed in one fell stroke. The winner of the League War is sure to play a major role in determining China's future, and to survive the trial by fire our people have been promised and expect a short, decisive campaign. Morale is a representation of the people's belief in our victory and their willingness to fight for that victory. With high morale, we'll be capable of rallying the people to our cause and securing foreign support. Morale can be gained through capturing enemy territory or holding the city of Nanjing. On the other hand, the longer the war takes, the more we will seem to fail to live up to our promises. Should morale drop low enough, our troops will begin to defect and the fighting ability will be severely crippled. Morale can be lost by losing territory or progression of time. We have 100 morale. I guess we can spend it. Let's raise some boys. think I'll send my militias down to the down to try and hold against the left KMT. And we'll send our good troops over here to try and capitulate Shandong. Cyril push with north to Shandong. So we're making decent political power per day. Maybe I'll hold off. Shit, because I really want to get the army guy. You know, I can get this guy. It gives me a little bit of XP. And then we can still rescue Governor Chen. Governor Chen is rescued. Governor Chen Yi, governor of Ziyuan province before the war broke out, has been successfully rescued by a detachment of Qi Ziyuan's forces and has been brought to Nanjing. After his province fell to the Nanjing Clique, he was trapped, but thankfully was rescued. Welcome back. We get 25 PP for that too. So we can go rescue Governor Zhang. Governor Zhang is rescued. Governor Zhang Jinyan, governor of Jiangsu province before the war broke out, has been successfully rescued by a detachment. After his province fell to Changjiang, he was trapped, but he was thankfully rescued. We get 25 PP for that. I think those are generals. So okay, we were actually using both of those generals, so I guess it's like pretty good that they didn't die. We get command power. We get some more org. Get some PP. Maybe I should have done this first and get the higher army experience guy. Let's go try and deal with our army problems. See if Jinan is open. Just gotta make sure we don't get circled here. Maybe we go with a fallback line. I think these are mountains here. Can hold on to maybe Wangzhou. What the fuck are you guys doing? Oh, these guys cut off by the... Oh, that's bad. Alright, looks like we got those divisions that we raised. We got the Sean King. I still don't have anything else. Alright, so we can send our good troops down to try and deal with the left KMT here. Guys, let's have to hold out. Hitting that guy. Get a good army over here so we can try and break out our units over there. Alright, enemy stockpile captured. With recent victories in the battlefield, our men have recently captured a supply depot filled with enemy weapons. Though retreating forces had tried to leave nothing for us, the speed of our advance caught them off guard. Excellent. So we're gonna get support equipment, artillery, and rifles. That's pretty based. So this will do the we'll do the army buff. The Sun investigation. Following the assassination of Marshal Sun Shenfang, chaos has continued to plague the League. Thousands have already died, and many more deaths will follow. Although there were many factors that led to this, the shooting of Sun was the nail in the coffin for the League of Eight Provinces. With enemies on all sides, Qi has decided to start an investigation into his murder. Most do not believe the assassin was working alone, and people want answers. Some have suggested she was a Kuomintang agent. Others believe she was part of the Yiguandao. Some think she was an agent of Chen. Others argue she simply wanted revenge. Some even suggested it was Qi himself who ordered the killing. An investigation must be started to find the answer. For this investigation, there must of course be an investigator. Someone who will lead the case and will find the truth, or at least whatever Qi needs the truth to be. Well, there are 4 options for a lead investigator. We should choose a man who is close and loyal to Sun, who will know him best and know where to look. However, we may not show Qi in the best light, as many loyal to Sun believe Qi was willing to push Sun aside a little too enthusiastically, and have suspicions of him. Another option is to choose someone loyal to Qi, who will make sure the results not harm our administration, but some will not trust this result. Another option is to call a German investigator who will have far more credibility than one of ours. The final option is to choose someone from the Northern Zilli Clique, for they won't have many conflicting loyalties. Decisions. I think what we're gonna do is we'll let's find out what the Germans think. And then here, of course, we'll have you guys garrison Baharadia again. And we'll get our front line against these commie motherfuckers. Sense of direction. Although the investigation to Soon's death is independent from our government, it may be best to give the investigator our initial speculations and opinions of what occurred that day. This will assist the investigation and allow us to keep some sort of control over its findings. The investigator may simply ignore our suggestion, but it may at least sway them slightly. Probably the Kuomintang. Those guys are always up to terrorist nonsense, aren't they? Ooh, they want to spend command power on that. I mean, we can get a bonus for doctrine. Like, I might as well do that. That seems pretty good. Raise some dudes in Shandong. How are logistics? Our logistics are actually pretty good. Oh, Sichuanese are starving again. We're kind of like already through the mountains here. We're just gonna have to take Nanjing. Do I want to spend PP on metals? Probably not. Integrate Jinan Arsenal. Get some funds. For infantry weapons. I think we just gotta save our PP, to our army experience, to try and deal with this. Deal with the debuffs. Mountains, so that's kind of irritating to grind. We'll try and take Nanjing off them. Let's go, boys! You guys attack too. Alright, let's do here. Should we deal with our industry? Get a mill there. Let's deal with our, let's deal with those guys. Disloyal officers purged. With the betrayal of Chen Tiaoyuan, it has become clear that many of the ranked officers are in fact not loyal to Nanjing at all, but rather hold their own loyalties. How is our military supposed to function when the officers serving do not hold absolute loyalty to Qi Ziyuan and Nanjing? To solve this, over the last few days, a massive purge has occurred across our whole officer staff. This work has been carried out by the Military Loyalty Committee, a body of investigators who review all of our officers' histories and past ties, and question many who were in Nanjing. The Military Loyalty Committee ordered the arrest of many officers who were found to have links to the Kuomintang, Yiguandao, or some other warlord. All the treacherous officers have either been imprisoned indefinitely or have already been taken care of. Excellent. 75 PP for that. Look at that. We've already got 2 crossed off the list. Let's integrate Jinan. Or I don't know. Maybe that seems like a bit of a waste. Let's get the shadow guy. I think he gets us 2 operative slots. It said. Yeah. So we have poor civilian industry. So let's get the spies. Well, we're gonna encircle that. That'd be huge. It's got French tanks. Why don't we have no supply connection to capital? Let's maybe build a railroad. Oh, we got it, boys. We got that encirclement. We got our upgraded rifle. Their machine tools. Alright, the report is almost complete. Finally, after many weeks of investigation, the report on the Soon investigation is almost complete. Although we gave an initial sense of direction, the investigator has stayed relatively independent of direct interference. Interesting. So we'll see who really was behind the plot to kill Marshal Soon. It looks like we killed that French tank, though. And some Baharadia commune guys. The woman wanted revenge. The investigators have concluded that the woman who assassinated Sun Chanfang was doing it out of revenge. According to the report, no real political connections were found with the woman. However, multiple people in her family were killed and more is led by Soon. The report concludes that the woman was thus acting for revenge for her family. Alright, so you suppress the students. Force some media controls. Gotta control the press, of course. How are we doing on our morale over here? Cool. I guess we might as well scavenge for these supplies. Like, we've got the morale for it, so let's just get the stuff. Radio. So we get the artillery upgrade. We got a decent amount of PP too. Yeah, Krupp. I am a bit concerned that if I kill them too fast, like I won't get the army experience. But if I drag it out, I think that you know, I could lose. It said that I could lose morale and collapse or something like that. So I don't know if I should actually stop and grind. Motivated soldiers. When a man believes that victory is close at hand, he will fight harder and better, it is often said. Whether or not this is true, recent battlefield success has done well to boost morale, having a positive effect on the war effort. Well done. Okay. So maybe we can afford to like stop and grind for a bit. Should I grind general traits? Do we have any generals that are like good grind targets? Maybe Tang. Like Tang and Zen would be okay. Maybe we'll do a switcheroo. I guess we might as well just throw them all under the one guy. Shouldn't have done that. Newspaper writers arrested. Just this morning, multiple groups of military police raided multiple newspaper offices and have arrested hundreds of writers, editors, and company owners. It's clear that the newspapers were complicit in the collapse of the League of Eight Provinces, and though we are faced by many enemies, they continue to write lies and slander against League Marshal Qi, ironically even blaming him for the League's collapse. However, it cannot be ignored how much potential these newspapers have for propaganda. Therefore, new writers and editors have been offered to the newspaper companies who have already been checked to make sure they will remain loyal and write in favor of Nanjing. I don't know, we're just going to play some League Collapse, I guess. Trying to get some army experience. The grind is pretty slow. I kind of missed out on the one advisor that gives a bonus army experience I probably should have got. I mean, maybe I should just kill the left KMT quick, though. Because we're going to have, like, other wars to go to, too, as well. Maybe we get like an attaché or some shit. I don't know. Let's do this. Try and fix our industry. Just attack stuff, I guess. I think we killed them like a little bit too quickly. Integrate the arsenal, send in the army, don't really need to do that. I already got the doctrine bonus. Political power here. Maybe let's just swap this guy out for the additional experience and reform guy. Nice, captured enemy stockpile. I like to get at least 100 XP so I can get my first army reform. Factory lease ended. So we don't get our bonus military factories anymore. Put one on there just to make sure we keep making artillery. Soldiers aren't motivated anymore. That's not great. I do control Nanjing. I should get 5 morale. I do. Cool. I don't think we're gonna make it. These left KMT guys are just gonna die before we get our 100 XP. Some gun shipments. So I think those focuses will like go away if we win the war. So I won't walk into their capital until that's done. We won that pretty fast. Start mobilizing our economy, I guess. This may be a bit silly, but you know, I think we'll have factories. I hope soon. And we just got like most of our territory back here, right? Flanders joined the Reich Pact. Okay, good for them. League Ostasian Relations. The Ostasian administration is the chief backer of the AOG in Asia, and AOG interests are heavily tied to theirs. In a show of collaboration, the AOG has asked that we extend formal diplomatic overtures to the administration to cement our shared economic interests. Better friends than enemies, okay. So we got some guns. Crippled industry, I don't know if we need to do that. Let's just take the capital here. Recent advances in the war have done well and strengthened Qi Yuan's position. Members of the government, once critical of his rule, have begun to fall silent, while supporting voices have grown louder. If this trend continues, the war will see a swift conclusion. It is only right. I think it will see a swift conclusion. Alright, Mingyan insurgency capped. So where does that leave us? Do we still have our crippled industry? We do. That's annoying. How do I get rid of that now? I guess we can do government by coercion now. Or we can do Nanjing army stuff. Let's do the government by coercion. We'll give us some. Get rid of that conspicuous kleptocracy thing. Get ourselves some bonuses. We do get 100 army XP, so we can slam that down on our first army reform. Try and make our guys not suck so much. I think these guys are artillery guys, right? Yes, we want to do that. Let's have these guys, like, they can start, like, maybe doing some army exercises, though. Nanjing lives on. After many months of fighting, we have finally been able to crush the enemies that oppose us. Traitors, Kuomintang, and Yiguandao have all been crushed by the iron fist of Qi Yuan. However, his leadership is still not secure. Though the Kuomintang have been beaten in the field, reports have come back stating that they will continue to fight a guerrilla war against us. The Yiguandao seem to have issued a similar statement. Also, as proven by Chen's betrayal, even those who claim to be loyal to us may be willing to betray us. We must remain diligent. So we're now the League of Southeast Provinces. We no longer have questionable authority, and we get chaotic order. Which didn't appear to have all that much. We lose 30 stability and war support. And we got these unrests. KMT and Yigon Dao. Widespread destruction, damaged industry. Life is not the greatest. Alright, so you gotta suppress Yigon Dao, suppress KMT. So we're clicking, we're playing mini games. I have to spend a lot of PP. And our PP, we're not getting a whole lot right now. Dublin Olympics, okay. AOG requests our support. With Indochina and open revolt, the AOG have requested that we support Ostasian in quelling the rebellion, both to help a friend in time of need and to safeguard against a possible syndicalist threat in future years. Yeah, I guess we help them. League Ostasian connection deepens. As AOG influence grows, so does our relationship with Ostasia. To wit, a new economic trade agreement has been drafted by AOG businesses to boost trade between us. It's always good to have friends. Can we change their templates now? We can. Okay. So these guys are regular guys with a helmet. These are the same, so I can delete this one probably. This one can use the rifle symbol. Maybe I'll make those guys. Usually for 6 widths, I do the garrison symbol. And these guys, yeah, they can just be infantry. Get rid of that. We'll send some volunteers and get ourselves some army support. Government by coercion. They'll help us out a bit so we can finish the Sun investigation. What's this going to get us to? Eradicate KMT cells. So we're probably going to need these to deal with our stability situation. Okay, so we can start collaborating. Maybe we want to do. I think let's come down this path first, and at least try and deal with our chaotic order. And then we'll, well, maybe we want those 3 civilian factories, though. It's 35 days. Do you have any ticking timers where the stuff's going to like blow up in my face if I don't do this? Let's just go to do the suppression. We'll go to maybe 16 width on our Pao Bing Zen. I got interwar artillery. get the. I like to play with tanks. You know, what can I say, right? I'll get the tank tech. I think we'll go dispersed industry this game. It'd be super awesome to train these guys forever, but I think we just don't have the equipment. Finally, it's time to officially complete the Sun investigation and release the results. However, with the report in our hands, it may be best if the results were changed a little more to our liking. We must make sure we control the narrative around Sun's death. We'll stand by the results. We need excavation for that. Let's get ourselves our civilian factory. Do that to you. The golden voice of China. Her beautiful and unique voice rings out from the gramophones from Shanghai's most fashionable clubs to the grand halls of Nanjing. Zhu Zuan has exploded into popularity across China. As the situation in China politically remains constantly at the edge and the country is plagued with internal and external issues, Zhu Zhuan's music has remained a reassuring pillar in the turbulent times. Perhaps compelling is her own personal life story. Life full of poverty and woe, and one that many of her listeners can relate to. Born Su Pu and separated from her natural parents at a young age, she was sold by a relative at 3. At age 13, she would take the name Zhu Zhuan as her stage name, meaning beautiful jade. And indeed, like a beautiful jade that is admired, she has released hits that have been popular throughout China, such as Knights of Shanghai / Ye Shanghai, Blooming Flowers, and The Full Moon, and The Song of Four Seasons. And yet, despite the glamour, her personal life has been marked with failed marriages, illegitimate children, and even rumored suicide attempts. Yet her life provides a respite to the chaos in China, as her rise from rags to riches will undoubtedly inspire others. Performing throughout China and impressing foreign dignitaries, Zhu Zhuan's music brings light in an otherwise dark period for the Chinese people. We get some political power for that too. We can use that to we'll do factory repairs. Mustafa Kemal got shot. The Sun report. At 6:23 a.m., Marshal Sun Shunfang awoke and was served his morning breakfast. At 6:15, he got out of bed and put on his martial uniform and went to a meeting with some of his officers. At this point, Shi Jianquao, the assassin, had put on her disguise as a serving woman and infiltrated Sun's serving staff. Following Sun's meeting, Sun then went out to the courtyard where some troops were being trained. As he watched the training exercise, Shi approached from behind him, drew a German Luger pistol, and shot at Sun 3 times, once in the center of his back, once in his shoulder, and one bullet firing past his head. She was quickly apprehended by Sun's bodyguards, and Sun was rushed to medical assistance. However, he lost blood very quickly and so passed from his coma a few weeks later. Evidence collected by investigatory bodies included that Shi Jianquao was working alone, seeking revenge against Sun after family members were killed in some of Sun's wars. Finally, this can be put to rest. We get some stability for that. Let's get the PP. Use that to help deal with their devastation. Ooh, looks like we got the bear. okay. And Indochina has capped, so I guess they didn't last all that long, did they? It's unfortunate for my XP grind. So we'll do that. We'll purge the complicit. Ooh, Fevzi Pasha seizes power. Okay, good for him. The civil war in Spain. Democratic left in Brazil. I guess we got the guy, but we can't actually get any spies. That sucks. So we have to have our agency first. It's a bit annoying. That requires I have 4 factories. What Chinese warlord has 4 factories? Come on. Purge the complicit. Now that Marshal Chi's power has been secured against the enemies from the outside, we must make sure we are secure internally. Many people throughout the population, from the peasant class all the way to the highest officers, are complicit in the collapse of the League of 8 Provinces. Therefore, the only answer is to purge the complicit. In doing this, we must focus on one of the main groups currently opposing us. The young students of China, where dissent and rebellion spread. The Kuomintang and the Yuguandao are made in secrecy and must still be destroyed. Even Sun Shinfang's old friends and associates have shown they are not to be trusted. Let's go after the commies. When in doubt, purge the commies. We'll do the governor question. How harsh shall we be? Before we execute the purge of the complicit, we must choose how brutal we are going to be to those who were arrested. In this group, there will be criminals and rebels who, given the chance, will bring about the end of stability in society as we know it. We'll just go all the way. Can I get in on that action? How do I get in on the this nonsense here? I gotta reunite my country. So get rid of damaged industries, so that's nice, I guess. Still need more military factories though, like a lot. Purge of the complicit. After many days of investigations, police raids, and even some military shootouts, the purge of the complicit has taken place. Xi's power becomes more and more secure by the day. Excellent. Get 100 PP for that. Big PP. What should I spend that on, though? Production, efficiency, retention, and cap. Pretty good. Construction speed. Civvy construction speed, stability, division attrition. Military factory construction speed would be pretty nice. Like I gotta build mills. I gotta build civvies too. I gotta really develop our country here. You can also get factory construction speed. The German Empire is going to get 5% of our civilian industry. That seems like not the greatest plan. Let's, I guess, continue. Let's mobilize. We got the war support for it, so we'll do it. That did get us to a break point, so that's nice. Just try and stand somewhere where we're not attritioning. The governor questioned. League Marshal Qi never trusted Chen Tiaoyuan. He was anti-German, refusing to see the benefit of her European friends. And his loyalties shifted many times, most often between Sun Shanfang and the Fangtian clique in Manchuria. It was no surprise then when Chen rose up against the League and brought it to the edge of ruin. It is clear that, due to his anti-German policies, his province of Anhui is in severe need of investment and development. Therefore, the question of who shall become the next governor of Anhui is paramount. Really, there are two main options. First is Zi Hongjun, a relatively minor military officer and bureaucrat in Nanjing. However, his main appeal as governor is a relatively close relationship he had to Sun Shanfang. Many still see Qi as an usurper, so placing a Sun loyalist to such a high-level position would be a popular move. He is weak enough that he may be easy to control. However, there is a second option, with the problem all starting from Anhui's breakaway. Perhaps it's time to centralize the League slightly more. League Marshal Qi Ziyuan is always an option so that Anhui can be kept on a closer leash to Nanjing, though it might not be that popular with the population at large. So we'll take a stability hit, but we'll get some PP for that. I don't know, I feel like if we were supposed to be some petty warlord, we probably want to expend our demands, right? So we'll extend our power. Let's get the eradicate the KMT cells. I'll get some stability if we do that. So we'll go ahead and do that. We can form our agency, and we have the extra spies, so let's just go ahead and do that. So we're not attritioning, so I don't know why I have negative guns. The Xinjiang Clique erupts some. Okay, so we got some more wars going on down there. Nanjing military reforms. The first steps to reforming our military is underway. With the creation of a centralized bureaucracy to coordinate logistics, supply, and payments, a commission to handle this project was established with trusted men supposedly handpicked by Qi Ziyuan taking on this task with stride. This lays the foundation for our future army reforms critical for bringing our forces into the modern era. So we have systemic military shortcomings only now. Our armies triumph even on the battlefield. Where else would they triumph, I wonder? And crack down on the Guandao sects. Soldiers ambush. While on a regular patrol today, a group of soldiers were ambushed by a band of Kuomintang guerrillas near Longyan and quickly overpowered them and killed them. Further war parties have been sent out to track them down with little success. Damn. Why? I clicked the decision. Well, it's nice that it tells you exactly what was causing it, though. It kind of sucks when you just keep on getting these negative events and you don't realize there's some focus you're supposed to do. You have decent PP gain, though. Opium storage warehouse in Zuzhou destroyed. Yuan Dao followers who are weirdly upset over opium use in Shandong and Jiangsu have attacked and destroyed an illegal opium storage warehouse in Zuzhou. While having less opium isn't necessarily bad, they also killed everyone nearby. When soldiers arrived, they then continued to resist. We now let Yuan Dao religion continue to exist, and its followers cause too much chaos. These barbarians. Constructions. This loves another military factory. Gotta make more rifles. I gotta save our XP for our next decision for reform. Does that cost us another 100? Yeah, it does. I want to go for... we're not really that close. Don't really need machine tools yet. Let's get the construction tech. We got 3 factories on rifles now, even. First buy. I can crack down on the Yuan Dao. Let's do it. So get some more support and stability. I think we're going to go for the collaboration. We can sell out to the Germans. The greatest advantage over the other warlords is that we have the full support of the Germans. So we'll take 5. We'll I guess lose some of our organization bonus, but we'll be able to get the stack of factories and some other industrial benefits. We're on our way to having actually a surplus of rifles. I want to convert these to the maybe Boobing Zen. Hopefully give us having regular infantry from our rifles count will hopefully help us get an edge up against the other warlords who are using irregulars. We also have like a lot of artillery. I wonder if we could just convert these guys over to that other template. I probably don't have enough rifles to do that. Yeah, we'll just have to leave them like that for now. I'm not sure who we attack next. I guess I'll send a spy over this way. Start gathering some intel. Maybe go for that research slot. Meeting with the Nanjing Commission. With our political position relatively stabilized, it's time for us to formally re-enter our collaboration with the AOG, starting with their main military and political arm, the Nanjing Commission. While ostensibly an advisory board, the Commission's influence, especially after their assistance in crushing the Anqing revolt, has grown past the point of mere suggestions. And while their support is crucial, straying from their good side is political suicide. Well, let's hope the relationship is profitable and do another anti-KMT campaign. We'll crack down on the Yuan Dao. Try and get rid of these revolutionary scum. Alright, I guess rebuilding the Zigan Railway. Large amounts of the Central China Railway were damaged during the League collapse, whether by protesters or defectors. With the dust settled, we should request AOG support to rebuild the railway lines. Seeing that they're the reason we ended up in this catastrophe in the first place. So we can get funds for repairs. We can build some infrastructure. They can repair it themselves. AOG establishes new offices. In gesture of continued faith in the Nanjing, the AOG has announced the opening of new offices in the city, further cementing the ties between our government and the German administration. Ooh, nice. Get a Civi factory. Take it. Guys, it's easy to be successful and have a good economy in this game. All you have to do is sell out to the Germans. Ooh, the Swiss went Cindy. That's not good for Germany. Get another spy here. Send these maybe to get some intel. Unpaid concession leases. Well, Black Monday was a disaster for everyone, especially the AOG. All charity has to end sometime. When the continued failure of the Germans to pay concession fees, it is like looking like we have to take it up with the AOG directly. So we can get sea goods 10%, or we can get 75 PP. I'll take the PP. Got a lot of decisions to click, and the sea goods, we don't have that big of an economy. I'm just gonna click this decision just because it's there, so we'll click it. We don't need the political action decisions, the propaganda decisions. I'm gonna appoint some governors. Let's do that. Governor for Fujian. Throughout the League War, Fujian was ruled by Zhu Yinren. Zhu, a competent general over the years, has brought a level of control to Fujian that was not achieved by the governors of previous decades. However, Zhu has one main negative, that being his extreme loyalty to the previous League Marshal's son, Qinfang. Having been classmates many years ago, their relationship was always a close one. It was this friendship that got Zhu to his position, not any sign of impressive skill or ability. Though Fujian has developed decently under Zhu, it remains the most impoverished province in the League. We must make the choice of whether to keep Zhu or whether to put in someone new. The other option for the governor of Fujian is Kong Zhaotong, a relatively minor military leader from Fujian. However, Kong's main appeal is his close relationship to Qi Ziyuan, with Kong acting as one of Qi's commanders directly in Fujian. Kong showed decent ability while fighting the Kuomintang, and his anti-socialist credentials are up to standard. His close links to Qi mean he must be far more competent than Sun loyalist to Zhu. However, perhaps experience is better than loyalty. We can choose stability or war support in PP. We'll put our yes men in power. Governor for Jiangxi. Jiangxi is a poor, underdeveloped province of the League, having been under the leadership of Deng Ruzu for many years. Under him, Jiangxi has become a hotbed for German investments, with much of the province being dependent on German cash. Deng has got comfortable in this position, perhaps too comfortable. Importantly, another man wishes to become Jiangxi's governor. Fang Benren, after graduating from Beijing Military Academy, worked with Guangdong Army, eventually as its commander-in-chief, and eventually as a high-level commander-in-general in the League Army. Having had strong links to Sun Quanfang and a suspicion of the northern Zulu leader Wu Peifu, he has gained lots of influence in League politics. Not appointing him to this position would be very dangerous for our regime, even though Deng has held it for years. Well, we'll pray for his success. Some more support. Civilian industry. So you can pay PP to get bonus civilian industry and military industry. In armed experience gain. I see, but if we get, if we don't want we want the Marlibs to get too powerful. Could be a problem. Hurting our PP gain over time. Rising sun. So Japan is gonna do Japanese things. AOG implements exclusive economic zones. Seizing upon their disproportionate influence in our country, the AOG has implemented a policy of economic exclusivity for German interests, effectively cinching their monopoly on League investment. While mostly a simple acknowledgement of the present reality, it is concerning that the AOG holds such formidable power inside their own government. This is for the good of China. Is it? Where's our other research slot? Down here. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so we'll get the option to attack over here, which I think is probably good. Do you want to research slot first? Let's get the. We'll sell it a little bit more first. Control of the concession factories. Due to the AOG retraction after Black Monday, we were able to fill the vacuum and gain a modicum of control over the concession industries. While this situation is not likely to last long, it's appreciated nonetheless. Okay. Okay, I actually almost have enough to convert these over to infantry. End of the Yiguandao. The Yiguandao threat can be finally said to be neutralized as the last sect was destroyed. Its members thrown into jail. It took a lot of policies and military action, but now northern the countryside can finally be declared safe again. The damage of the rotten religion of the Yiguandao did to our country will long live in infamy, but now they're gone and we won't let them come back. Finally, peace. German Investment Council. With the interior now officially up for grabs, the AOG has decided to head off the inevitable chaos of this veritable gold rush and establish an investment council to regulate German businesses in the region. While this is undoubtedly a boon, it is somewhat unfortunate that it is the Germans and not us who are in direct control. Oh, we can sell out. Take some civilian factories. KMT headquarters encirclement. Months of tracking KMT's activities, months of frustrating their efforts, and months of planning have finally paid off. New headquarters of the few terrorists that remained after Wang Jingwei's defeat have been located and completely razed to the ground. Now that we have worked against them for so long, the resources are completely exhausted, and we can finally call the movement of the left KMT destroyed. The traitorous rebellion is no more. Finally. We got enough army XP for our next reform. Let's keep on building military factories. German reconstruction imports. The loss of our southern territories has caused somewhat of a resource disaster in our country, with many traditional internal industries now cut off from us. To alleviate this, the AOG has suggested a relaxation of regulations of German imports into the country, only until our internal economy has righted itself, of course. Yikes. So you can either take a buff. I wonder if there's like a takeover or something like that if AOG gets more popular than us. We can afford to relax the regulations, sure. So we can do that, and then maybe we combat German influence a bit here. Keep them in check a little bit. Corrupt industrial methods. Get the yeah, I'll get the research aid, maybe the research slot. Look at going to war with our southern neighbors. Battling inflation. The League Yen has suffered both from Black Monday and the League collapse. To prevent a complete financial meltdown, the AOG have pledged the support of the DAB and backing up the Yen in return for various financial concessions. I think let's not do that. Playing Call to Creek when it releases? I don't know, maybe. Maybe. Still need too much infantry for that. Probably attack one of these guys first. Should probably go for the bigger province. Maybe we'll put the fallback line for our like our better army here, and we'll have like our reserve army over here against the Hunan border. Maybe start training some more. I guess we can just get some of these Polizei troops. These guys are like, they're 4 width. They only cost 320 equipment. I actually have 9 factories. Like, what I should do is get the psychological warfare to help increase my compliance gain. It's gonna be worth it. I'm gonna research slot. Nice, I got some cores. They actually do anything for us except for the manpower, though. Do we get any factories? No. It's rough. Let's do that. 114 days in army reform. I got some more cores. We get any additional factories? Looks like we did get some factories there. I'll get a research slot. Or maybe don't need machine tools just yet. So I got get the medium tank. Let's get maybe start working on truck tech. Get ourselves some construction tech. And then we can go to stuff over here to get rid of our chaotic order, and then we can start working against these southern traders. Get our next dispersed industry. We might cap out soon, so I guess we can go ahead and grab our tools. We can start a medium tank too. I don't know if I have the factories to start building medium tanks right now, though. So we'll just get the tools. Up one factory on support equipment. I need a defensive guy. You'll do. Then let's go for the construction speed, industrial research. Do the inspections here to get ourselves some more stability. So things are looking. Things are turning around for us here. I should have maybe considered getting some cavalry. Yes, they're more expensive than these Polizei troops, so. Italian Civil War resumes. How are we? We got lots of cap actually, so that's nice. How are these guys doing on their? They still got the warlord era inadequacies, like the full thing. So we'll have 2 army reforms done by then, so that'll be quite good. Our troops should compare quite well. 1 mil. So we'll get a civvy. Alternate a bit. Do peace in the countryside. Nice. Zeeman is another core. We got lots of planes here actually. That's gonna be good for us. Who won the Spanish Civil War? Socialists, of course. Seem to be winning that war quite often. Okay, good. Okay. We want to build with our factory here. Here's still some anti-air for when we have to fight Japan. You get peace in the countryside. Political power gain, stability, and political power seems pretty good. Selective enforcement. Can fortify some places, get some infrastructure. More economic development down here. It's probably what we want. Green gang dealings. Tackle local corruption. Local development. Like, this seems like all pretty good. So get another research slot over here. We get command power, army experience, assignable traits. Leader experience gain, division recovery rate, planning speed. You get reinforced rate, supply consumption. Do we go for research, or do we try and build up our industry? Decisions. Got Navy that way too, which I don't think we'll really need. I don't necessarily need PP at the well. If I could get up to war economy, that would be pretty based. Actually, let's get the I guess let's come down this way and work on our industry. Do the selective enforcement. At the same time, we'll try and attack the Guangzhou government. Military reforms march onwards, having taken their first steps towards improving the quality of our army. Further initiatives soon followed. Localized units have been broken up and redistributed, with some officers outright expelled for corruption. Training similarly has been revamped from the ground up, bringing our troops up to speed with modern techniques. There's been plenty of grumbling from members of the old guard, particularly those who have benefited from the regional nature of our old forces. However, this patchwork model, while sometimes more effective in the early days of the warlord era, has no place in the future of our military. Look at these guys here. Well, they got a lot of troops, so it looks like maybe some of them aren't the greatest quality. Let's see how this goes for them. We've got another core. Get some more factories. Nice, nice. Alright, Sardinia has declared on Italy. So there's only 2 militia there. We can probably gang up on that with like multiple decent units. Zhu Pian, the master painter from the east. Born in 1895 in rural Yizheng, Jiangsu, Zhu Beihong from an early age was trained in the arts of the classic Chinese works and calligraphy. After studying in Fudan University in Tokyo, he learned French and began to teach at the Peking University's art school and the invitation of the educator HOI4. Winning a scholarship at the prestigious National High School of Art in Paris in 1919, he would embark on a decade-long journey in Europe. His stay in Paris would be unexpected as the French nation fell into revolution and the new socialist regime began to take hold and influence art. Heavily inspired by the European traditions of classic art and culture, Zhu took the name of Zhu Pian while in France and studied at the prestigious École Nationale Supérieure des Beaux-Arts. He would incorporate creative and innovative elements inspired by the so-called proletariat art. His journey in Europe ended in 1927, and he made his home in Nanjing, where he began teaching at the National Central University. In 1933, Zhu organized an exhibition of modern Chinese art that traveled to France, Germany, and Belgium. Zhu's work, while highlighting the classic styles favored by European audiences, would also showcase scenes of Chinese life and culture, all of which was found to be very fascinating. For Europeans, such as the Germans, the brilliance of Zhu's Chinese brush and ink techniques combined with Western perspectives and composition were a sign of China's growing modernity. So Germany and the socialists like us better because of that guy, okay? We got our construction techniques. Starting on the basic medium tank. It's like reinforcement, we'll get our infrastructure. Yes, we got the war economy. Yeah, we'll take some volunteers. Get the artillery upgrade too. We're gonna get some decent encirclements here. It looks like Hunan declared on me too. Fair enough. I guess that saves me the trouble of having to go in on them. I wonder if it's worth it, because these guys are like in a mountain tile. How are you guys losing? Maybe it's supply issue, looks like. Oh, this makes... Also a mountain. Really getting much there. Those guys are a bit tougher than I expected them to be. Here's our next supplies. Wang's out. Xiao Guan. If we could get that tile, that would actually be huge. Your next army reforms. Yes, we need that. For it takes, we gotta do form the public security. And the supply hub is what really matters there. If we can get that, that'd be pretty huge. I tried to get that mountain back, but wasn't quite able to do it. Get that fucking supply depot. Alright, so that guy's actually probably fine there. Well, this is a bit of an issue. Maybe we have to abandon this, our designs on Hunyang over here. Maybe let them have some territory. It's not quite able to deal with the supply situation there. And we got a lot of artillery too in stockpile, so we could maybe get ourselves a more offensive-oriented template. Now that we have get hold position there. You know, that's actually fine if they walk out. Just don't want them to be in mountains. Let's maybe stay on that side of the river. What do we want to do with this? Get the I'll get that guy. We'll get the readouts. Sure. We still got more PP we can spend. Ooh, okay. Infantry division attack, artillery attack, superior firepower, mass assault. I should go mass assault. Go Southern School. It's kind of neat that they have like some unique ones there. So let them walk into those mountains. I can take that mountain tile. We'll try and take once again the Shaoguan. Now that I have my artillery divisions over here. Should get all of our units in. Okay, there we go. Now I have the supply hub. Be able to take that fight too. Guess we'll keep this other general in the field just in case we need to like last stand again or something. So I should get supplies there. Okay, now we have our supplies. Front line. This will push Guangzhou. Should have maybe read that. Gonna finish those guys off. political power gain. I need to do this stuff before I can get my stacks of factories. So we'll get the political power gain first. You know what? I don't know. I don't really feel the need to grind that. We'll send you guys over this way. Where's the capital? Nanjing. Probably should have got some cavalry. I don't know. Let's again, maybe like they're mountain tiles. It's just kind of like a shitty idea to grind them. Especially like when like already through over here. Like we just march to Nanjing. Uruguay has won the World Cup. That's nice for Uruguay. Probably got one factory on train. Alright, Feng Tian. I got Feng Tian coming in. Wu Pei Fu requests we intervene. No, fuck that guy. Trying to interrupt me when I'm like trying to cap these traders. Recognize a dire situation. Yeah, sure. Take some rifles. These guys gotta be close. Yeah, they're like, they got nothing left here, so they should cap. Well, look at that, when all your shit's encircled, Hunan. We tackle local corruption. We'll deal with the green gangs. Let's exert some influence in the legations. Yes, yes. Should be able to get Hunan here too. Pretty quickly. Changsha open even? That would be nice. No, no, we would never get so lucky. We got our medium tank. An engine upgrade. I should actually put one on trucks maybe instead of trains. I don't have truck yet though, do I? The military factory construction speed, let's do that. fortify those states, which maybe we want to do. That's probably it for Hunan too, isn't it? Should be right. They can. Well, oh, they took their front capital back. Talks with Du Yusheng. After weeks of arrangements, Du Yusheng, a main leader of the criminal gang in Shanghai, the Green Gang, recently met with Qi Ziyuan and a few other high-level officers. Talks went on for hours in a quiet hall with a small street in a small street in Muzi. Only minimal guards were present, and most high-level officials didn't even know of the meeting. At the end of the talks, the result is a plan they unofficially titled the Du Nanjing Scheme. Through this plan, Du will use his high-level and shady business connections to funnel more capital through Nanjing, and we will help G supplied with weapons through backroom dealings. To pay for this, Nanjing will pay Du directly with the agreement that 40% of this money will be used in pushing pro-Chinese business in legation cities. Hands were shaken, witnesses were dealt with, and payments were made. Okay. Dealt with some witnesses, fair enough. That seems legit. Oh, fuck. Do you have to go to war with the fucking Qing now? They're already at war with Fang Tian. Oh, fuck those guys. I mean, we'll get our army back soon, because, like, Hunan's gonna capitulate. Hunan's gonna capitulate. It's still got VPs. Alright, so we got the Hunan and pals. Get this, we'll be able to get our stack of military factories. I guess we can start building early truck, and I'll flip that over to regular truck once we have regular truck. We gotta work towards, we need 200 army experience for the lessons of war. I really need the recruitable population factor though. Like, I probably need to design our tank with our howitzer and shit once we have that. We can start producing that with our new factories that we'll be getting. And then I guess we'll see Woman Jun. I guess there's no more Yan Jisan thought. Any medals to assign? Yeah, I don't have any political power. Is my problem. So there's no more Yan Jishan thought. We've got the Guominjun instead. And it looks like the Qing government, I don't know, they're kind of close to Beijing, Feng Tian. I could maybe stop training those. We're probably past the point where Cav would have been. Cav would have been useful there for snaking VPs. Hmm. I know this is pretty late, so I'll save the game here and decide what I want to do. We'll have to go to war against Burger Qing eventually. Whether or not I want to fight them before we, I mean, it'd be nice to get some tanks out. Make it try to take the rest of the country. It's like try to grab Yunnan. You're gonna have to worry about the Japanese and their Feng Tian allies eventually. Like it's Sichuan and Qing. It looks like are the only people fighting the Japanese right now. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. I will see you guys next time.